guys, it's Adam with Detailers of Sarasota. We're back here at one of our clients' house. This guy's been a client of ours for about 7 years now. Just picked up this new Porsche. It's a 1988 930 Turbo. So he's got us out here today. We're gonna do a full paint correction on it. We're gonna do a ceramic coating on the paint. We're gonna coat the wheels. We're gonna coat the glass. This is really gonna be a fun car, but something that you wanna be careful with. 40-year-old paint. It's not 40-year-old paint, but it's a 40-year-old car. So we do know it has been repainted. We do know it has already been sanded and polished. So that's something we're gonna have to keep in mind. We're gonna use a paint gauge on it. We just got the detail done, so now we're gonna pull it in, walk around it with the paint gauge. That way we're getting an idea of just how thick this is, how much paint we actually have to work with. But the prep detail's done. We already have it washed. We already have it clay barred, dried. It's all blown out, bone dry. So really the next step is to get it pulled in, take that paint gauge around it, figure out how thick the paint is, how far can we push it, how far can we not push it, and then we're gonna get to the ceramic coating. So let's go ahead and get it inside and we'll go from there. All right, you guys, so now that we got it pulled inside, the first thing I'm going to be doing is taking my paint gauge, running over the paint, figuring out where are the weak spots, where do we need to be more careful. The last thing we want to do is burn through and completely just ruin our day and our client's day. Something you can see off the top, if we're measuring the center of the roof, we're reading about 5 to 6 mils, and a mil is very tiny, it's about 1/1000th of an inch. So this reads everything. This is reading primer, base coat, clear coat, all of that. Primer is going to be the thickest layer. The clear coat is going to be the second thickest layer, and the red base coat is going to be the thinnest. So we can take that, and pretty much if we're reading 5, we know we got maybe 1.5 mils of clear. What we find coming over farther is that this is going to be getting less and less as we come over, simply for the reason that as the roof curves, this is getting more sun exposure throughout the day. So as you see, we're reading 5, 4, 4, 3, 6, 2. So we're going to see that trend in this railway going this way down the car. It's going to be low 4s, high 3s. You can see we're getting pretty good 4s in the back, worst spots right here. And these machines can be really tricky to use. It's a pressure plate, so you got to really get it flat. So we're going to walk around the car, check the weak points, check the fenders. Again, we got 7 on the fender, 7 on the hood. And what we found over here, this back quarter panel was reading really thick. I read this 12.9, 15.3, there's an 18.2. So we got 18 mils of clear total product on this. And if we come up here, we have 4.3. So we have almost 3 times the amount of paint on the quarter panel than we do on the roof. So if you would just go into this blindly and just polish it all the exact same, you're gonna run a big risk of breaking through this paint right here, and that's what we're trying to avoid. And we're not chasing ego. We're gonna get it to a point where it is as camouflaged as we can get it while still maintaining a lot of the clear coat's integrity. We don't wanna have clear coat failure, a year down the road from now. So now that we got an idea, we're gonna start getting our rotaries out, start masking off some tape, running tape lines on all the black plastic, and then we're gonna start cutting into this paint, get a good feel of it, and start cruising from there.
We was in the hood selling bags, showing choppers out and fucking around and tried to go and lease a helicopter. Baby really a problem, somebody gotta stop him, man. I'm haters watching too hard, I think they got binoculars. Every nigga with me, I'm go, it ain't no stopping us. Niggas acting like they got the bank, I'm trying to stop it up. Do this for the road.
Alright guys, so after we measured the paint, what we came to realize is that we're going to change our approach. We're not going to do a heavy cut compound because we're going to have to really refine it back from there, and we really just don't have that much paint to work with. So what we're going to use is a company called 3D. This product called 3D1. It really changes if you change your tool. So we're going to use it first with the rotary, with the wool pad. We're going to knock it down. Then my man Steve's going to go back with the DA with the foam pad with the same polish, and that should get us pretty good results. So we'll do that. We're going to run a little test spot right here, start biting into it with this, and have Steve follow back on me. Maybe get a little closer to an answer of how we're going to correct this thing efficiently. All right, so first thing we realize, it's definitely single stage paint. So that means the base coat, the clear coat, it's all one and the same. So that really buys us back a little bit of confidence because we know it's not clear coat, base coat, it's all one and the same. We can probably push it a little farther than we thought. Downside is Stuff gets on everything, so we're really gonna bleed through pads today. But next, I got this Rotary, so I'm gonna have Steve go through, run it with the Rupes foam pad, same 3D one as our polish, and then we're gonna do a little comparison, see what kind of results we're getting. So, bust it out, Steve.
Baby got children, baby probably still drug dealer. Baby ain't a trapper, he a rapper. Baby make it plastic, baby in the hood, he ain't acting. Baby keep it real with his people, baby like a piece. Baby probably still sell reef.
So here's what's gonna happen with single stage paint. Your paint's gonna come off on it, you're gonna see the color. You might panic at first and think you broke through, but as you can see, it is indeed still a wool pad, just has a lot of paint on it. Really no big deal. A lot of times one-step or single-stage paints come back really glossy. It's really good to, even a one-step paint enhancement will do numbers on a single-stage paint job. It's really just kind of a pain in the butt for the detailers because we go through a lot more towels and a lot more pads, but we're looking good. We're almost done with the first panel. A couple more spots I'm gonna dial with the Rotary, go back with the DA, and then we should have a pretty good game plan to get this thing done. Have some ceramic on this thing. Pretty soon.
I told him ice my wrist up. I like to hold my fist up. How to boy the baby in me and they getting fixed up. Why ain't keep the fine, throw them foes in every switch? Cause nigga. Baby putting on for the city. Baby he the realest. Baby probably got a couple million. Baby having 4 or 5 killers. Baby got children. Baby probably still drug dealer. Baby ain't a trapper, he a rapper. Baby making plastic. Baby in the hood, he ain't acting. Baby keep it real with his people. Baby like a piece. Baby probably still sell reef.
So you guys might have noticed we changed pads when I was over this back fender. We were using this 5-inch pad on it. I just switched to the 7-inch wool pad. Main reason, just so we can get some more time back, speed through it a little bit on the flatter panels. What this pad is gonna be better at is what I call dog walking. So when we're coming in here and we're really wanting to get a real tight line, that's gonna shine over this. You can see this really doesn't have any distinct line where this does. So I'm gonna cut the bulk of it, get that finished real quick, go back with this guy because I'm burning through these pads and we don't have too many of these. So I'm gonna go back, finish with this, outline everything, and Steve's following me with the DA. We're gonna assess the paint at that point. We might do one final jeweling polish just to get a little bit more clarity out of it, but we'll see where we're at then. So if you're wondering why I switched pads, that's the reason. Get a little more time back in this. Alright you guys, so if you see how I'm running this pad, you'll see I'm going flat to a hard angle, flat to a hard angle. And the reason for that is, if you're looking at the pad, this isn't the best example because it's single stage, but you can tell the middle of it is lighter in color, and that's because there's more compound concentration in the middle of the pad. So when I'm dragging it flat, I'm re-wetting the panel to give myself more compound, and then I'm gonna angle it back, and these drier fibers are gonna give me more cutting power. So watch how I do this and it'll make a little more sense. So if you see that, it's maybe not as dramatic when I'm doing it, but it's going from flat to angle. With the DA that Steve's using, you don't have to do that. With the DA, you want to keep it flat, even pressure the whole time. With the Rotary, you want to get an angle on it, that's where you're going to get one cut.
For nothing, I can eat you like hibachi, cause you bad, bad, bad. I just put the doors on the guinea, now I'm riding and I'm sliding in the sideways, now she call me her zaddy. Rich nigga shit, I bought my daddy a new petty. Got a model, got a ticket, got a BM, got a stallion, got a $1 billion corporation, fuckers in it. I got millions to go get in a couple bitches to, yeah. You my dog till we dead, not a question, but I can't fuck with you like I want, cause you ready. Got $1 million in the wall, in the bed, and got it stepped on, got it hard, got it cracking on her. $500,000, I just did a warm up for $500,000. I can buy the building, I
can rent this shit out and save it for the children. I can deck this shit out and give it to the villains. Somewhere they can hide when they do some killing. All of the rides got grenade ceilings. Loaded with a ride cost a cool million. Rose gold seat on a fucking helicopter, double C, no Chanel, cause she's bad, bad, bad. Ride it, Kawasaki, I can cup you a new Rari, let you ride it, now you ride, and you're bad, bad, bad. No plan, no Atari, I won't play with you for nothing, I can eat you like hibachi.
Alright, you guys, so we just got done using a company called Renegade Easy Red. It's a sprayable metal polish. Biggest thing that you're gonna notice with this, again, like I said earlier in the video, the different pads are gonna dictate how the polish cuts or doesn't cut. Same thing with metal polish. You're gonna have more of a bite if you're using a red terry towel like this than you would a microfiber towel. So we're gonna come in, real easy application, spray it on. All you need, just a lot of elbow grease. You don't need much knowledge, just elbow grease. Throw some weight into it. We're gonna give these a couple minutes to flash. Essentially, once it starts hazing, you can see on this back wheel. We did this one just a minute ago. Kind of like the old school wax test. You can run your finger through it. You can see it's still smearing a little bit, but then again, it's over my hand, so who knows. Give that another minute or so. We'll take that off with the towel. But that's a really good product. You can use at home on metal, any of your metal trim, you know, wheels, exhaust tips. Super easy to use. Renegade, Easy Red, sprayable polish. Alright, so something interesting I wanted to tell you guys. These machines might look identical. They're a little different though. This one on this side is a 15 millimeter throw. This one is an 8 millimeter throw. This one's also gear driven, where this one's a random orbital. So if you notice, when the pad comes out, that motion right there, how it's slinging out, that is a 15 millimeter throw. Where you look at this one, it's gonna come out less. So this guy's making about half the distance travel as this one. That's why I'm using this 8 millimeter as for our final polish. This is the third step. Essentially what we're doing with corrections, we're taking scratches and we're controlling the scratches. So as we're compounding, as we're polishing, we're still scratching the paint. We're just making the scratch smaller and smaller and smaller until the human eye can't see it, and then it's, you know, perfect. So that's essentially the premise with this. So instead of a 15 millimeter throw, we're doing an 8 millimeter throw. So we're taking the scratch, bringing it down about half its size, and that is going to be truly a perfect finish. So we're just about done. I'm about halfway through now with the third polish, and then that much closer to ceramic coating. All right, you guys, so now we've got the full paint correction done. We just finished alcohol prepping the whole car, taking the towels through all the jams, all the little cracks, make sure all of our compound polishes out of everything. So now we're ready to move on to the ceramic stage. We use System X's Max G Plus. This is a coating we warranty for 10 years, so it's a pretty awesome coating. But you'll see the process here in a second. We're putting it on real thin applicator. Cool thing about these, it has a plastic liner right in the middle, so you're really not absorbing that much ceramic, so you're not wasting a lot of product. I see some guys using big foam blocks, you know, sponge applicator pads, and they waste a lot of ceramic. So this is how we do it. Center it up on the foam block. Crack this open. Essentially how I apply it, I go 3 dabs on. You can see like that, that's 3 drops of ceramic ready to go. I'll start here on the quarter panel. The biggest thing with this is I want to be thorough, but I also want to be quick. I don't want to be wasting time letting the product start to dry in before we're actually done applying it to the whole panel. I'm going to bring it on this black too. It's going to give the black a really nice sheen. So the biggest thing I'm thinking and focusing on right now is just not missing any spots. I just want to be sure we got good coverage. Take that all the way to this final point. And then bring it back on this. I like to coat the plastic trim with our details because it makes it look really good. And then it stays protected, and then everything just matches. Alright, so with this coating, the biggest thing we're looking for is going to be these little water droplet beads. That essentially tells us that we're ready to take it off. So we're going to come in here, big sweeping motions. I kind of like to think of it as like figure eights. I'm going to come in here and really just try to grab it off quickly. Not worried about getting all of it off, I just want to get the bulk of it going. Take that all the way back up. Don't forget the black trim that we already did. Take our towel, flip it back, come back over it. The biggest thing with ceramic coatings, you just want to be sure you're really getting all of it off. It's just a really repetitive back and forth motion, back and forth with the towel. If you don't get it off with professional grade coatings like this, sometimes you'll need to sand it off or at least rotary it off, and it's just going to be a pain. So you just got to be really intentional about taking all of it off. The next Steve's going to follow me with a different towel. We color coordinated like the rainbow. So blue comes first, then purple, so we don't get it mixed up. And then we're gonna go back with another white towel. So we do 3 towel takeoff method just to be 100% sure. No smudging, no smears. It looks perfect. And this is our final towel. It's a little heavier of a grain. So it's a little softer of a towel, a little plusher of a towel. And this is really just acting as our insurance. So we're gonna shut the door. So the quarter's done. Now we're gonna move into the door. Go into the fender, onto the hood, wrap it around, finish up on the roof, and the paint will come. Alright you guys, so we're just about done. One of the last things to do on a detail is to shine the tires, but before we do that, sometimes tires, if you use jelly, kind of like a silicone-based tire shine, use a silicone-based tire shine, it gets real gummy, and looking at this, sometimes you got to clean it off before you put the new tire shine on. So I just wanted to show you that if you scrape some of this tire, so you're gonna have like this goo that's literally just that. So if you put the tire shine over this, that's where you're gonna get tire sling from. So the biggest thing is to have a really good clean prep tire, and of course we've already washed the wheels and tires this morning. We already scrubbed the tires, and all that gunk's just still left over from scrubbing it, pressure washing it real close. So in this case, we're gonna go essentially razor blade all the excess off, and then I'm gonna go back with some APC with a towel and just essentially do a dry towel wipe technique like that. That'll get it prepped good for the tire shine, and we shouldn't have any tire shine sling. Alright you guys, that is the wrap. We got the Porsche coated. It is totally done. I think this came out really nicely. As you saw in the video, a few blemishes we didn't really want to take too far down because we don't want to take that much clear coat away. But being that it is a 40-year-old Porsche, I think it came out really, really nice. Again, full paint correction on all the paint. 10-year warranted ceramic on everything. We got the glass coated, we got the wheels coated, we got this coated. Look at this, I don't know if you ever noticed this, but it's a flexible kind of foam material. Pretty cool. So yeah, if you guys need anything, we're not new to detailing, but we are new to YouTube. So if you want to see anything specific, want to know anything, want to see a different type of video, maybe a certain car, comment, let us know. We got some new videos coming soon. We're excited to show you. See you guys.